Hi friends, I am doing something different today. I have so many presents to wrap, so I figure why don't we wrap some presents together and maybe you'll get some satisfying video footage of me doing this. The presents that I'm wrapping, they're not for me. That would be silly if they were for me, right? They are for my parents next door who have grandchildren, and I will be wrapping presents for them. But you need wrapping paper, tape, and scissors. Okay, here we go. I'm a professional wrapper, gift wrapper. I usually do help my family around the holidays just for wrapping things, and I love wrapping things. I love it. So this first wrapping paper, we have some nice Baby Shark paper here. So let's get it started. And then my kitty always loves to help. Always. Okay, so the first things I like to do is definitely take off the price tag. Something that my mom does, and I like, it's always a joke and it's funny, is she kind of keeps the price tag on things. I don't think it's on purpose, but who knows? Maybe she's just like, I want you to fucking know how much I fucking spent on you. Okay, so this really cute little comforter with dinosaurs on it, which is really cute. And also there are 4 different grandchildren, so it's important that I know who they're for. And this says Finn. This one's for Finn. Oh my gosh, do you guys see Gus? He's so cute. Just gotta be careful of that plastic, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I also, like, disclaimer, I have been watching a lot of YouTube. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and I watch Lucas and Jacob Cruikshank, and they're super sarcastic, so if I'm sarcastic, that might be why. I'm really better at this. Yes. There's that kind of paper. Okay. So, for Finn. And you gotta make sure that you write the right name on it because you don't want the other kids to open your presents, you know what I'm saying? Alright, this looks fun. You know, when I was a kid, that was what Christmas was to me. It was just like receiving all of these fun, amazing gifts, you know, and I would only get gifts like one time of the year because my birthday is January 3rd, so it's like right after Christmas. And a lot of people would forget my birthday anyway. But that's okay. But yeah, big gifts. Big gifts are like so exciting. And honestly, they're even more exciting when they're wrapped because there's so much more mystery. And then when you open it, it's like, oh, that was what was under it. And then the illusion is kind of shattered. So you could just keep your presents wrapped all the time. I wonder if this sounds like ASMR. Sharpie. You can have to from tags. I know they have to from tags, but whatever. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. First gift is wrapped. Beautiful. This one's for Max. And it's okay. I think that this video is gonna go up so that they don't watch it and they don't know what their presents are before Christmas, so it's gonna go up later than that. Even though these kids are definitely not watching my videos. They better not be. Let's be real. We also have, this is a Baby Shark, obviously. And we have Mickey Mouse here. And we have the elf over here. Elf might be fun for the big kids. How are you doing? Like, what's going on with you? Is a lot going on or is a little going on? For me, it's kind of like both. There's a lot and a little going on at the same freaking time. I mean, do you really need to see my face? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you really do. There is so much like mystery with Christmas though and magic that I really do love it. It's been less commercial for me and more about like family and togetherness. Just being together, I think is really special and important. But also not an obligation type of thing. If you don't know me and you're just landing on my page, I am Lizzie. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business, and my goal is to help other humans, other beings, to break free from generational trauma, do things differently, live life the way that they want to and not how others expect them to. I used to work my accounting job. I used to be an accountant for about 3 or 4 years, and I realized that I really didn't like it. So I decided to quit and do my own thing, and it's been freaking amazing. I do not want to work for anybody else but myself. But I do things differently, and that includes like not doing anything that you feel obligated to. And the holidays can be a really heavy time. And sometimes family situations aren't what they make themselves out to be in like Hallmark movies, and I 100% understand that. And I think family stuff can also be a lot about uncomfortable situations, going to holidays just because you feel really obligated to, and you need permission. You don't have to do anything you don't feel obligated to do. And that includes like family stuff, even though people think that, you know, that's what that means, you know? But you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. And I stress the importance of that. It is so crucial to live life for you and do what makes you happy, because when we do things out of obligation, like going to Christmas when we don't really want to with certain family members that maybe are not pleasant to be around, that can create room for resentment. And because I've experienced a lot of resentment and built up resentment. For example, I am going to my mother's for Christmas. I'm going to potentially my partner's family, as well as my family, my mom's side of the family. But I'm not going to my father's. I'm not really talking to my dad right now. That's just best for my mental well-being, and that's okay. If you want to learn, I'm very open and transparent about my life experience. So if you do want to learn more about that, I do have more YouTube videos. I have a couple of podcasts actually. My medicine is the first podcast, which that one's taking a little bit of a breather, but in the first episode I share a lot about my parents. And I also have another podcast called Open Book starring Lizzie B and her diary, where I read directly from my diary. I also have a Patreon where I post my personal diary that is available for anybody and everybody to read. I'm like a vulnerable queen, that's all. And I think vulnerability is very, very powerful. Let's see. Magical unicorn. This shit is fucking fun. I kind of wish it was for me. Ooh, huggable nightlight. That's so fun. And you hug it. This is so fun. I actually just bought myself a stuffed animal, and I'm actually all about like normalizing having a stuffed animal and maybe even carrying it around, because there is something so soothing about having something around that just feels like home. Yeah, I bring it in the car with me because sometimes Cameron, he stresses me out with his driving, and it helps me and it helps him, to be honest. It's kind of like I'm Santa Claus or I'm like an elf. And that's a vibe. That is a vibey. Another secret, I make sure that, because on the outside of the paper, on the outside, that's the straightest, so I try to get the outside of the paper on there. It just looks super clean and pretty, and honestly, it's so freaking satisfying. Like, let's get real. Baby Shark. Never really understood. I mean, I've heard the song. Just so glad that I haven't been inundated with it, that I hate it, which I feel like could happen to some parents. And I don't. Kids, if you're watching this, do not watch this. This isn't really a kid-friendly channel. It's more for adults, and it's boring. We're killing it. We're effing killing it. Look at this. This is my workshop. Okay. Some sheets, comforters. Ooh, this one too. I love this. So, these are all for boys. And I love that they're not like sticking to just the boy masculine stuff. I mean, there's one of the boys is getting a unicorn, and one of them is getting this really cute little pink bear that is also one of those huggy ones that projects lights onto the wall. And I love that. We're fucking breaking social expectations. That's what we do here. That's what I do here. This is kind of a daring move here. I think I'm gonna try this. We want to be conservative with the paper. You know, we're about the environment here. Even though I personally didn't buy wrapping paper. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it exists for a reason. But I for the record just didn't buy it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Finn. I mean, it makes sense why Finn would get the baby shark stuff, because Finn is like, you know, part of the ocean. Ooh, this almost matches up, like, pretty perfectly. Okay, so another wrapping tip, pro wrapping tip. If you are wrapping the sides and then you kind of, if you tape this, it's gonna push back on the other side and then it's gonna be all wonky. So I folded it and now I'm gonna kind of put it on its side so it applies that pressure without taping it. Oh, I'm a freaking genius. And then I've just been doing this for a while. And then you're gonna wrap it. Damn, I really am professional. I do want to get paid for this, but for now, until I'm a professional, like an Olympian rapper, that's I think when I'm gonna change it. And this one's for Finn. I'm not gonna freaking lie. I'm just a goofy goober. Also, okay, officially for Finn. I kind of want this. I think they've noticed if I took it. Feeling, I mean, maybe you don't celebrate Christmas and that's totally cool. It just, for me, it hasn't really felt like the holidays. And I usually am really way better about watching like holiday movies and Christmas movies. But this year, I'm watching Too Hot to Handle. It's kind of taking up space in order for me to watch movies, but I do love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's probably my favorite. I also love Elf. It reminds me of when I worked at Old Navy and we would always have the Elf going on in the back room, so whenever you want a break you get to watch Elf. Damn. Freaking legit action camera. Oh, cool. It's like a little GoPro for him to do his little stunts, which I feel like he's only 5, but never too young to start going crazy. And also I have clothes, so that's gonna be its own adventure. And Old Navy clothes. Isn't that perfect? Oh, the universe. So funny. I love these big sacks. They're like legit Christmas. They're really like pink and purple? Like, yes. Ooh, a tape measure. Freaking measure that crap, brah. You know what I'm saying? I actually do have, I asked questions on my Instagram if anybody had any questions for me. Okay, maybe not. That's okay. I'm gonna do my thing anyway. This is the tape measure. This is fun. And for those of you who don't know, I also used to have a YouTube channel. I'm 26 now, but I used to have a YouTube channel. I'm almost 27 though, by the way. And I had a YouTube channel when I was like 13. And that was honestly so fun. And then I started kind of getting picked on in middle school for it. And I was like, yeah, this isn't necessarily worth it for me anymore. And I kind of abandoned that and abandoned my dreams and kind of settled for something different, which was like the accounting job and going to college and doing things that honestly it was mostly my dad trying to get me to do. I think the best way to live life is to tune in. Like, what do you want? What do you want out of life? And you know, when I was a kid, I used to love making YouTube videos and creating content and being silly and goofy and funny. And I'm slowly returning back to that version of myself, which is really fun and really exciting. I live a pretty unique experience in life because I, at the moment, am able to do whatever the heck I want. I'm excited to get this little present in. But I think I live a pretty unique life in that I'm able to do whatever the heck I want, whenever I want. Like, finally have an opportunity to live my dreams and spend my time as I wish. Which I am really grateful for. Really grateful for. It's like, no, I don't live in like a mansion. I also don't really value material things as much as I used to. I used to think that material things would bring me more happiness. And then, because I used to have a house. Me and Cameron used to have a house. And once we sold that house and we sold a lot of our belongings and got rid of a lot of things and moved into a smaller apartment. This is Gus. It really helped us, especially me, realize that there's so much to be grateful for. When you get rid of things and you make room for other things, it really puts things into perspective of like, well, yeah, it's not really this that makes me happy. It's not this item that I bought and purchased. It's not this house that makes me happy. It's the little things, the things that are not, that you can't buy. And I'm so blessed. Like, time is our most valuable resource, right? So if I'm able to have an abundance of time that I can do in order to live my dreams, and part of my dreams is being vulnerable, just being myself and changing the world and making the world a more peaceful, joyful, happy, loving place just by being myself, which is kind of why I'm coming back to YouTube. I just want to change the world just by being myself. That's my dream. And I mean, that is what I'm doing, to be honest. I want to give myself enough credit there. What else can you buy? Family. My kitties. I mean, I technically bought that one, the white furry one. But I am so grateful to have them all around me all the time. And my partner, who really loves me. And he really has shown me what unconditional love looks like. And he, you know, is supporting me so much that he wants me to live my dreams and wants me to be happy no matter what. And he took this leap of faith with me. And my family next door. So awesome that, like, we're literally right next door. I've been hermiting a lot and keeping to myself really recently. But it's nice to know that they're around and that they love me unconditionally as well. There's a lot to be grateful for. And I love this apartment. It's a little tight at the moment. And it would be nice to have more space for the kitties as well. But pretty perfect. another thing. Apologizing for just being. I don't want to do that. I would like to not do that anymore. I wouldn't want anybody else to apologize for just being. Now I would apologize for everything because I thought everything was my fault. We don't need that. For those of you who are watching though, and I am launching a program, and you know, obviously zero pressure. I'm launching a program. I'm just going to talk about it because I'm excited about it. In January 2023, where I share my transformation, I'm opening a 6-month container where I share everything that I have learned in order for me to just live the freest life that I can possibly live. You know, what other people say, having to work their 40-hour-a-week job, you don't have to. Just because other people are doing it, that's not necessarily a good enough reason to keep doing it, you know? And there's so much more to life than what you might be seeing right now and what other people might be wanting for you. Possibilities are really infinite, and I want to inspire more sacred rebels, like newly spiritual humans who embody more feminine energy. I don't want to limit it based on gender or anything, but those who resonate with the feminine energy, and those who want to be the main character of their life and want to live life differently and want to have the courage and confidence to do so and to go against the grain. Like, it's okay to go against the grain, and it's okay to want something different. It's okay to be different, and to empower other humans to break free from generational trauma and be the cycle breakers of their family. And know that you deserve the absolute best in the world. And what I've been realizing is that part of manifesting the life of your dreams is believing that you're worthy of it. And once you realize and remember what you're worth, nothing is going to stop you. Not anybody, not anything. Nothing is going to get in the way of you and your dreams. It's just a matter of you believing that they can come true, or believing that you deserve it, because you absolutely do. And I noticed this pattern where some humans believe that other people deserve the nice things, other people deserve the best in life, that they're the only exception, that they're the exception. And it's like, no one is the exception. No one. And that can be kind of controversial, because it's like, well, what about, like, I go with the most extreme example, Hitler. What about Hitler? Does he deserve those things? I don't know. Was Hitler also a product of generational trauma? Do you think that he was abused by his family? It's kind of, this is a lot. It's deep. I'm definitely, like, I like to dive deep for sure. I just don't believe there's any exceptions to the rule. And I think everything happens for a reason, and I think Hitler did a lot of bad things. Obviously, the Holocaust and millions of people dying is not good. But I do believe everything happens for a reason, as morbid as that sounds. And I do believe that everyone deserves a second chance. When we believe that people are unredeemable. It's kind of like, to me, it's not a good feeling. It's like when we write off other people, but we don't really know all about their lives at all. We don't know about their upbringing. We don't know about the cycles and the trauma that keeps happening and keeps happening. You know, like my dad, for example. My dad has a history of manipulating me and gaslighting me and making me think that I'm fucking crazy when he just wasn't treating me the way that I deserved. And I was starting to be my own person. I don't resonate with this word, but in case you do, kind of like narcissistic traits. And instead of ever taking accountability for mistakes he made, it would just always be my fault. Do I think he's a bad person because he manipulates and gaslights in order to get his own way? I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a bad person. But I also know that I deserve the best and I don't deserve to be put in that situation, whether you're blood related to me or not. Like, I'm not one to feel obligated to do anything I want to do, and that includes spending time with anybody. If I don't want to spend time with you, I won't. And that's okay. Like, that is okay. You know? And empowering other people to know that it's okay to, like, take a step back. And it's okay to say no to relationships that don't really serve you. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. But sometimes, when people do not know how to respect you, kind of need to show them how. And I've tried to show my dad, and he just hasn't, at least the last time I spoke, I like, you know, he hasn't totally caught on yet. And that could be a part of me, like, I am nervous to speak my truth with my dad. But he can be a very scary individual. He can be the nicest person in the whole entire world, but when he gets triggered, it's like the Hulk turns into the Hulk. And he has, like, no control over himself and the things that he says. And another thing about me is that I love all humans unconditionally. My definition of love just might be a little different, but I love all humans unconditionally. Because I love all aspects of myself unconditionally, and I know that I have the power to be a gaslighter and a manipulator because I've learned that. Like, I've had 26 years of experience learning that stuff, you know? So I understand where it comes from. I 100% understand where it comes from, and I don't really blame them. But there is one thing that this woman that I follow, who is amazing, her name is Nourish Natasha on YouTube, and she said, your trauma is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Or your healing is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And I have taken responsibility for my healing. But it's hard when other people may not be on the same page-ish. So when I say that I love everybody unconditionally, that's true. But my kind of love looks a little different. Like, I can love anybody and everybody from a distance. Just because I don't talk to my dad doesn't mean I don't love him. It just means that I love me more, to be honest. And you don't, in order to show love, you can just be it. You could just send love from far away. It doesn't mean that you love that person any less. And it doesn't mean that you owe anybody anything. Yes, even my parents, who are the reason I'm alive, it was their option to have me, right? That was their choice to have me, even though it was an accident. I share more about that in my podcast, My Medicine. Doesn't mean I owe anybody anything. I don't owe anybody anything. I only owe myself all of the time and protection I need in order to trust myself again. Because I went back and forth with my dad. I wouldn't speak to him for a year, talk to him for a year, wouldn't speak to him for another year, and then I would talk to him for another year. And I would go back and forth, but that, there's a lot of like details and nuances to that. But I wasn't really standing up for myself in the way that I deserved to. And ultimately lost a lot of self-trust because I kept going into a situation that just didn't feel good for me, and it wasn't good for me. So I lost a lot of self-trust because I couldn't trust myself for a lot of things. I couldn't trust myself to trust my reality, perceive my reality correctly. I also couldn't trust myself to protect myself and keep myself safe. So it's been very important for me to do that and make sure, I am safe and that I can, trust myself, We're getting deep on here, but that's okay. We do love a deep queen. I don't have any boxes for these clothes, so I'm kind of winging it, and it's working. But yeah, I feel like part of my mission on this earth is to be as vulnerable and transparent about my journey as I possibly can. I grew up as an only child for a really long time. I felt very lonely. Incredibly lonely. And part of my mission, right, is to make my inner child proud of me and help as many humans as I can feel less lonely and know that you're not on your journey alone. And I personally have found a lot of connection with people I've never even met on the internet. Definitely on YouTube. And through people's vulnerability and sharing their lives, it really does inspire me to do the same. It's just totally cool. It is totally cool. And I love myself so much. And hope to inspire more humans to love themselves too. Because I think, to be honest, like Hitler, I believe he hated himself. He fucking hated himself, and he never really, who knows, right? I wasn't there. But maybe he just hated himself, and he hated his circumstances, and he hated the world, and he wanted to do anything he could to try and change it. And he just projected that hatred of himself outwards. But I really believe that if everybody in this world learned to love themselves, everybody would be loving each other, just like what I'm talking about. And I think a huge part of my So I was talking about my online program that I'm launching in January. It's called Free to Be Butterfly School, where we'll be going through all of the stages of being a butterfly and learning a lot about self-love, so that no matter where you go, who you're with, you're able to practice that self-love and have that security and safety within yourself, that it doesn't matter what's going on around you. All you care about, well, what you care about most is loving yourself and sharing that love with other people, which that's the byproduct, right? The byproduct of loving yourself is loving other people. But that's not the reason I do what I do. Like, the reason is I want everybody to feel worthy. I want everybody to feel special and lovable, like worthy of love. Even if that's just from yourself. You absolutely deserve your own love. And when you are able to love yourself unconditionally, there's absolutely nothing in the whole world that can stop you. And that's what I want to share. And that's why, I'm here. I'm doing my thing. Oh my gosh, we're the last Prezi. Yeti for the weekend. This is the last present, you guys. I was listening to Demi Lovato, and one of her songs is stuck in my head at the moment. Some people that inspire me are Demi Lovato. She's super vulnerable and expressive in her music, and like who she is as a human, and being super vulnerable about her life, and even the parts that she might not be as proud about. I think it's really amazing and really inspiring. I also freaking love Lizzo so much. Her music, I love music. Another dream of mine is like I want to be a front woman for something, like a band. And Lizzo is just also super vulnerable and inspiring, and changes the fucking world just by being herself, and has really taught me to love my body, to be honest. Who else? Jeanette McCurdy. If you guys have read her book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, that is a really amazing book, and that really helped inspire me as well to be more open about like my parents and my relationship with them. Help others know that they're not alone. I'm sure there's so many more, but we're coming to the end. Let me show you. We got all of our prezzies wrapped. And we did it. That was fun. We had a little conversation, a little deepness, which we love. We love a deep queen. We love a vulnerable queen. Okay, I want to promo some stuff. I am in the process of changing my Patreon. I post my personal diary entries on my Patreon, patreon.com/LizzieBDiaries. I'll link everything in the description below, but I'm going to make half of them public so that anybody can read them, and then if you want to read the other half, you'll just need to subscribe. All of the funds and proceeds go to the Bail Project, which helps disproportionately affected populations receive the money they need in order to pay for their freedom back. It's not like bail is kind of effed up to me, and that you definitely should not have to pay for your freedom back, especially if you have not been convicted of anything. And Black and Indigenous people of color are affected disproportionately and are usually having to pay more for bail for some reason than a white person. And hoping that by donating my proceeds to my Patreon, from my Patreon to the Bail Project, will help more and more humans be more free. My thing is all about freedom, just being free to be who you are. And that's a huge reason why I'm even trying and being out here and doing this and putting myself out there. I also have a podcast that is free, and it's called Open Book, starring Lizzie B and her diary. That'll also be in the link below, where I read directly from my diary. I come out with a new episode every Friday. I just have been taking off the month of December, kind of, because I just wanted to. And I have another podcast, if you want to go into my archives, called My Medicine, where I share very vulnerably as well. Instagram, I post the most on Instagram. I also have a Facebook, a TikTok. I have obviously this YouTube channel. And in January 2023, I will be opening enrollment to only 11 feminine humans who are ready to change the projection of their life forever and live the happiest, best life that they can possibly live, and build the courage and strengthen their confidence so that they can be who they are unapologetically. And that'll be starting in January. Details for that also at the link in my bio. I also have a free masterclass that will empower you to not really care what other people say or what other people think about you, because it really doesn't matter. And that's called How to Not Give an F, but Actually. And it's a really empowering free masterclass, and it'll give you a little taste of what Butterfly School has to offer. But yeah, otherwise, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell to receive a notification every time I post. I hope you enjoyed my rapping and deep conversations. I thought it was really fun. And yeah, talk to you later. Sending you so much love, friends. Hoping you have or had the best holiday. And I'll talk to you in the next one.